I'm Malcolm Brown. I'm the Global IT Manager for Geoactive Limited. We are a software development company who write geoscience software for primarily the oil and gas industry, but other industries too that involve mining and things like that. So Nasuni, an out-of-the-box product, simple management interface, easy to deploy, makes your nights more comfortable because you don't have to worry about where your data is and how it's being protected, because it's all built-in security right into the heart of the platform. I highly recommend it. We've got improved file access now. We're not seeing any dropouts in the service. We're not seeing breakages in the connectors or the drive mappings for the file shares. They're very consistent now, and the reports I'm seeing from some of our sort of global workforce further afield, even though they're quite distant, they're not seeing any degradation really in the performance that they were seeing previously. Because of the way Nasuni works with the cloud environment, it stores the final copy of data in an object storage, which is immutable. So that's providing, and it's encrypted, so it's providing that layer of protection around the data at rest. The data is exposed to the end user actually comes through a secondary appliance called Nasuni Edge, and that's where all the interaction with the end users goes on. So if anything happens to that edge, the data behind it is still protected. So it's very much part of that thing, that immutability and that air-gapped sort of approach to resilience is what we're striving for, and we've achieved that with the technology. Right, so for the ransomware feature, that was a core element that we wanted to introduce into our system for our unstructured data. And as we were migrating the data from the previous file store to the new one, we actually triggered the ransomware detection policy. There was an old file type that the developers had used that has the same file extension as a modern ransomware attack, and it hit the threshold, triggered it, stopped the file transfer process overnight. So obviously I was asleep at the time and came in the morning to find the process stopped, and it did exactly what it said it would do in the design. I now have verifiable evidence that the solution works for us, with a nice report that it produces telling us what went on, where it came from and what happened. Sort of management's a breeze. I mean, it's a single pane of glass effectively for the main core product. You can see all your volumes, all your appliances, regardless of where they're located, through a single pane of glass, and you've got full management over them. You can even stop them from working from there if there's a problem with one of them and you don't want any more things to go. So it's very, very easy to use, very simple interface. You weren't going from server to server to server to server to server to see what was going on. You can actually see all your content. So from a management perspective, it's much simpler. So with Windows file servers, we had to manage them individually and try and tie them together somehow, but it was very hard to do. With Nasuni single management console, like I explained before, easy concept to do. The end users, they just access the files in the same way as they did previously. There was no difference. You can still use Microsoft DFS to share your files. You can use traditional UNC paths. It works exactly the same. So to an end user, they don't care. It's as long as they can see their files, they're happy. So from onboarding through to account management to technical support, it's been very easy. The guys are very experienced in what they do. They have a good depth of knowledge. If they don't know the solution or understand the solution, they've got resources they can reach back into, and it's very quick turnaround. You're not waiting days. You're usually back within an hour talking again about what the problem is and how to remediate it. And I've just found it very comfortable, and it's more of a partnership than it is a client-vendor end-user relationship.